You know how life just keeps throwing problems at us? It can feel relentless. But what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that offers a complete solution? I mean, a way to handle not just one specific problem, but the very nature of problems themselves. We're going to dive into this powerful way of thinking and see how it can bring some serious peace and stability to our crazy modern lives.
So just think about it for a second. When a challenge pops up, at work, at home, wherever, what's your gut reaction? Do you immediately feel that knot of stress? Do you get angry? Do you try to ignore it, or do you just power through it? It's a really important question because how we react pretty much defines our whole experience. Most of the time, we kind of fall into one of two camps, right? We either face the problem head-on, fighting and struggling with it, or we try to flee from it, procrastinate, avoid, and just hope it magically disappears. But here's the thing. There is a third option, a far more powerful one that we usually miss, and that is to transform the problem itself into an opportunity.
And that transformation, it doesn't come from changing the world around you. Nope. The real solution is actually much, much closer to home. It's all about developing a completely new attitude. And this is exactly where the ancient wisdom of karma yoga comes into play.
So what in the world is karma yoga? Well, at its heart, it's this amazing spiritual path that comes from the Bhagavad Gita. The main idea is to do your work, whatever it is, with your whole heart, but selflessly, without getting all tangled up in the results. It's really about focusing on the doing, not just the getting.
And this quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the whole philosophy. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to change what you're doing. You just have to change the mindset you bring to it. The entire transformation happens inside you.
Okay, let's break down the shift. Look at the motive. With ordinary action, it's usually driven by personal gain. What's in it for me? But karma yoga reframes that as an offering. Then there's identity. We usually think, I am the doer, which ties our ego right to the outcome. The shift is to see yourself as an instrument, a channel for something bigger. And the result? Well, one path leads to stress and bigger ego. The other leads to real inner peace and mental clarity. It's a huge difference.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we take our day-to-day actions, even the boring ones, and turn them into some kind of sacred offering? Well, the key, like we said, is all in the attitude. It's about perspective. It's like you're putting on a new pair of glasses and suddenly seeing the same old world in a completely new light. And there's a fantastic analogy that really helps explain this.
So, imagine two people standing by the Ganges River. The scientist sees H2O, a chemical compound, right? A resource to be studied and analyzed. Their actions are based on that view. But the devotee? They see Holy Mother Ganges, a sacred, purifying force. So their action is to bathe in it for spiritual purity. See? The river is exactly the same, but the attitude, the vision, changes everything. And this is precisely how karma yoga reframes our work.
Now, to make this really practical, the whole philosophy rests on two core pillars. Think of these as the twin engines of the practice, Ishvara Parapana and Prasada. Let's break down exactly what these mean.
So, the first pillar is Ishwarapana. This basically means offering every single action you do to a higher ideal or to the divine. Your work itself becomes a form of worship. It doesn't matter if you're writing code, teaching kids, or cleaning the kitchen, you do it with the attitude that you're serving something bigger than just yourself.
The second pillar is prasada, and this one is so important. It means accepting every result as a gift or a blessing. Whether the outcome is what you wanted, success, or not what you wanted, failure, you accept it with grace. This builds incredible mental resilience. It frees you from that constant anxiety of worrying if things will go your way. It's just like taking bitter medicine. Even if it's unpleasant, it's ultimately for your own good, for your own growth. So, what's the big payoff for all this? What do you actually get from offering up your actions and accepting all the results? The reward is this profound state of inner stability. It's almost like a mental superpower that dials down anxiety and lets you navigate life with focus and calm.
In fact, the Bhagavad Gita defines yoga itself as equanimity, or samatvam in Sanskrit. This is that state of mental balance where you're no longer thrown around by life's ups and downs. Success and failure, pleasure and pain, praise and blame. You just stay centered and calm no matter what comes your way.
And there's this amazing story that shows this perfectly. On day one, Lord Rama is told he's about to be crowned king of this huge empire. He doesn't get all excited, he's just calm. The very next day,
things take a wild turn, and he's told he's being exiled to the forest for 14 years. And again, he remains perfectly calm. That, right there, is true equanimity in action.
So why does this practice work so well? Here's the secret. Karma Yoga directly targets the two root causes of almost all our mental stress. First, the ego, that nagging voice that says, I am the doer. It gets softened by offering the action. And second, desire, our desperate attachment to getting certain results, is neutralized by accepting all outcomes as prasada. You're basically cutting off stress and anxiety at the source.
And when you put all this together, it leads to this radical new idea of what it means to be spiritual. It's not about escaping the world. It's about fully and beautifully engaging with it.
You see, in Karma Yoga, the path and the goal are one and the same. You don't have to wait to retire or go hide out on a mountaintop to find peace. Your daily life, your job, your family, your responsibilities, that becomes the very place where you cultivate inner peace and freedom.
All right, so let's just quickly sum it all up. Remember, any problem can be an opportunity for growth. The change you need to make is internal. It's a shift in attitude. The practice is simple. View your work as worship and accept all results as a gift. And the ultimate reward? That's a state of unshakable inner peace, equanimity.
And that brings us to the final thought. Look, this isn't just some neat idea to think about, it's something to do. So I'll just leave you with this question. What is one simple task today? It could be sending an email, washing the dishes, finishing a report, that you could consciously perform as an offering without getting hung up on the result. That's it. That's where the whole journey begins.